Yo, what's going on, guys? Ron here, aka Neos, and today, guys, I want to bring y'all a tier list on the board breakers of the format. I'm just gonna pull up the list here. Not a whole lot to talk about, but I do want to talk about the 5 tiers that I have pulled up here. So we have high impact, good slash solid, decent or situational, lackluster, and then the stuff that I think is unplayable. Starting off, we're gonna go with the kaiju esque monsters here. So like Lava Golem, Pankratops he's not really, but he's like a 1-for-1 trade with a pop. We have the Kurikara here, and I do not think we have anything else. Yeah, Sphere Mode, obviously, and yeah, that is it. In terms of kaiju's, I think that like the 1-for-1 kaiju's are just like basically unplayable. Um, there's nothing that you can really do to like bounce or like trade 1-for-1 with. Kurikara needing stuff to be activated as well is just not really good enough. By the time something is activated and resolved now, it's just kind of like too late. They already got value, so this is just too slow. This is lackluster because it needs 3 monsters and it eats your normal summon, and then I'm gonna put Lava Golem in lackluster as well. So the reason these are better is these don't trade 1-for-1. You can also get value off of the Lava Golem by, you know, burning your opponent with it. It doesn't need as many monsters, so you can, if your opponent just has 2, you can do that. Not a lot of boards are ending on like an incredible amount of stuff, so having this is like pretty good. Um, but otherwise not fantastic, to be honest. I think these are just lackluster. These don't give you enough value. And then let's talk about like the stealing cards, basically. So we have this. We have, I'm gonna put talent up there as well. Um, Enemy controller. I think that's all of like the steal effects. There's no snatch steal here, but I think Snatch Steal is going to go in this same category here. So you have like Snatch Steal plus like, because Snatch Steal and Change of Heart are at 3 now, but they're just not doing enough. They trade 1-for-1. Snatch Steal, at least like you get to keep the monster, which is kind of nice, but it's like eh. Um, I just don't think it's enough. This is unplayable. It just doesn't do enough. This is the same thing, unplayable. And then this is like good slash solid, and this is mainly because it also has the effect of to draw 2 or rip your opponent's hand. So the reason, like, this also doesn't target, so that means like you can steal your opponent's monster. Like if they go like, you activate this to steal, they chain to fuse or chain to do whatever, and they like bring out like a new monster or bring out a different monster or whatever the case might be. Bring a monster back. You have the ability to just like on res snatch whatever you want. Um, that's pretty good, but otherwise it's just not enough. I think the books are all in this like unplayable category. I don't think the books do anything. Booking stuff face down does not matter because you're like the main thing you're gonna play against is like Draco Tail, and they're just gonna fuse with the stuff anyways. So this just doesn't matter. Um, let's see here. We'll do Ultimate Slayer is lackluster. I think it has some applications. You can't respond to monster effect, which is pretty decent, and it sends for cost. So I'm gonna actually bump it up to situational because it does send for cost. That is the only reason I'm bumping this up. Sending for cost is really strong. I've mentioned that before in other videos. Anytime something sends for cost, it just bumps it up in power level for me because it just guarantees value. Being able to dump like a fusion is still pretty good. You can dump Garura. You can dump Entis to like force out a trap card. Um, because you do have the knowledge of where like Flame or Sting or whatever Vuln the Virtuous is, you can just force the stuff out. You can guarantee value. Speaking of value, I'm going to talk about Vuln the Virtuous. This card is very high impact. This card gives you a lot of value. It gets to like loop itself. It can also give you value if you're playing Branded Draco Tail into sending something else. I've seen decks that like they just play like a regular Albaz, just like a single one in their deck, and then 3 of this, so they can dump like Titaniclad, summon it, and then they can fuse off like their opponent's board and make the what's it called, the Devouring Dragon, so they can make a like a big 3K monster and then like shuffle cards back into their opponent's deck. So like that's an option. Like this card just gives you infinite value. It's guaranteed basically every time. Um, Speaking of guaranteed value, Droplet. Droplet, as long as it is paired with something specifically, it does need another card. So that's like the only issue though. But the thing is like you're almost gonna, if you're gonna play this, you're gonna more likely than not have some other way to get value off of it. And its big thing is dodging target. Into a board, you can dodge a lot of stuff, and that just gives you a lot of value. So dodging flame, dodging horn, dodging targeted pop from like Fallen the Virtuous, like you're just guaranteed something from this card. So yeah, so even if like it doesn't resolve, like even if they like your opponent has a way to stop you from resolving the Droplet, more likely than not, like you can get some sort of value off of it. So um, let's see, Storm and Geki here. I think Geki is basically unplayable. I don't think this does anything. Um, Maybe with like, uh, let's see, with the cards in the format, or with the decks in the format being like Draco Tail, Radiant Typhoon, like this just doesn't do anything. Like I don't think it does anything. I think Lightning Storm is pretty decent because you can just clear your back row, and like this period with Droplet is really good. If you go like this with Droplet, and like your opponent, like they're good against Radiant Typhoon or Draco Tail, you can like activate this, and at least even if it's just by itself, you just eat flame. It just eats flame automatically, so you get value off of this at some point, right? Even if it doesn't resolve, it's guaranteeing value. So I think that makes it solid. Um, Evenly match. I don't think evenly match gives you enough value. I think it's just a lackluster card. It's definitely more valuable than these cards. This is only above it because it sends for cost, like I mentioned beforehand. Just giving up your battle phase is just bad. It just feels bad. You're gonna go battle phase. Your opponent's gonna go. That's fine. They're gonna chain all their other stuff to get as much off the board as they can. Um, yeah, your opponent's just still gonna be like, your opponent's like, I'm gonna live now because you're gonna do this. So it just doesn't matter. It's just not that scary. Um, I actually want to talk about Crown. I don't think Crown is that great of a board breaker, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I think this card going first is just infinitely better. Like going first, this card is actually up here because you set this, and then your opponent can't respond with monster effects, and you can just force them to leave like a small monster on field. Like against Yummy, this just FTKs them. They go like normal summon Cupsy Wupsy, and you go like chain Crown, and they just explode. Because you just negate the Cupsy. They can't use it as link material. They need Marshmallow, which they should have started with Marshmallow if they had it. Um, yeah, this is just super bad. Even if they go like Marshmallow Snatchy effect, and you chain this, like they just murders. Yeah, it just murders Yummy. Normal summon Lucaeus, activate this. They can't chain 5 mana. Like it's a solid breaker, but it's not enough. It's not enough, I think, just to deal with one card on the field. Um, mm, yeah, I mean, it's just, ugh. Like I said, I think it's just way better going first. I think it's solid. It's definitely a solid card, but I think going first is just way better. Chalice is lackluster. It's trading 1 for 1. It's like a worse imp. Actually, it's a worse imperm. I'm putting it down here. Um, Speaking of which, I actually don't see Imperm on here. I know Imperm's technically a hand trap, but it's also a board breaker. So, um, I actually don't know what this card is. I just saw this. We're gonna call this Imperm. Imperm is up here. So, this is Imperm. For the Yeah, we're gonna say Imperm is here. Imperm is a hand trap, a board breaker. You can set it. It negates stuff from the column if it when it's set. It's a trap card. It doesn't activate like Azuna, stuff like that. Um, yeah, pretty pretty solid. I've talked a lot about Imperm. I think Imperm's like super broke. So yeah, this is gonna be Imperm. I'm gonna put Imperm up, and I'm gonna put it above this. Even though it targets, Imperm is just too good. It's none once per turn. Like yeah. Um, Fenrir is decent. I just don't think it's like as playable at the moment. Like Draco Tail, like pure was playing this because you could just get like a free monster, and it was like a free monster to summon as well. But you don't see this card. Mm, I'm thinking about putting him in lackluster, but I just can't put Fenrir in lackluster. Like going second, and then your opponent just goes like special Fenrir in attack position, and you're just like, ah man, like it's a big threat. So, Metatronus is unplayable. Like what are you gonna do? Like hit your opponent's like this is like mainly for mirror matches. We don't have a bunch of like overlaying, cards that if you're playing like different decks, like you just don't have that like, right now. Yeah, this card's unplayable. Thrust is broke because it gets you anything that you want. It can get you Imperm. It can get you Storm. It can get you this. It can get you this. It can get you I mean these two. Like it simply because this literally like Thrust just says all these other names that I listed beforehand, right? So that's the reason that this is up here. It's basically guaranteed value. Going second, your opponent's going to activate a monster effect at some point because that's just the format that we're in. Yeah, this is just guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed value. Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler's lackluster. It just doesn't do enough. Like negating all the monsters is like it's okay. The thing is that the boards are layered now. Like your opponent's gonna like summon monsters throughout the turn. So like you going like draw stand my main and just like ripping this, it just doesn't do anything. It's just because they're gonna bring out other monsters. They're gonna fuse off stuff. They're gonna synchro off stuff. They're gonna whatever the case might be. They can still like use Horn, bounce one of their cards back into the deck. Eh, it just doesn't do enough. Super Poly, I think Super Poly is pretty solid. I just don't like it because it makes you go neg. The only reason like it's really good is like it's unrespondable. Um, it is unrespondable. Do I put it in high impact? The thing is like this is like really good in like Radiant Typhoon because you just make Mud Dragon, and then they can't target your stuff like your monsters. Um, hmm. In Draco Tail, it doesn't do a whole lot. Like it just turns off like Horn, but that's like it. Um, I don't know if to put this in good, solid, or like high impact. It's unrespondable. I had to put it in high impact. Like it just gets to resolve. That's pretty good. Salesman, not. It's lackluster. This card's actually really good. It's just like you just can't call anything right now that matters. Like, it just doesn't matter. Because you can call 5 mana and then they just go chain 5 mana. So it doesn't matter that much. It's like it's just gonna get eaten by flame probably if you go active. You can actually just go like activate this, call 5 mana, then just go chain flame, draw a free card. This doesn't trade enough into a board. There's nothing on a board at the moment that you can call that just like turns off. Like this is really good when like in Rizio format you're just like call Detonator and then they're like ooh okay cool, and then they started playing Mitsurugi and then you were like call Detonator and they were like Murakumo or Purification negate destroy and they were just like ooh. So yeah, this is lackluster. It just doesn't do enough. It's not unplayable. It's just like it's on the cusp. It's like I'm gonna put it down here. Soul Exchange or Soul Release. Forget the name of this card. Um, no, just there's no point playing it. Uh, this is like decent situational. I'm gonna put it down here. if you play a deck that doesn't care about the extra deck, this is like this in Aneacraft is actually really good. You can play this in Aneacraft because you literally just do not care about your extra deck, so you just get free stuff with like your pots. Um, the issue is, like, yes, it can't be negated, which means like they can't flame this. They, you can choose how many you want to do. It's still respondable to though, and it does target, but you can't negate it. I mean, it's like that's pretty good. I gotta put in like top of situational. I think top of situational is fair because like you can't it can't be negated. It's guaranteed value. If you play a deck that doesn't care about the extra deck, it's fine. Um, yeah, I think it's decent. It's not a great card, but this is going to be it for the tier list, guys. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm going to reiterate, this is Imperm. Imperm is up here. It's a broken card. The next like videos that I'm going to be doing is going to be like hand traps, and then I'm going to go over like the different decks in the format that I think are good. And then, yeah, so anyways, guys, I do hope that y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when I post more content. And yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.